कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे There was a student in a very well reputed college of the city. He was studying, and he had a very nice time in his college. He was good at his academics, and by the end of his, probably he was doing a professional course like B.Tech, and by the end of his course he even got recruited in a very good company. He got placed, which is also the dream of many students here, and he went on to become a very successful engineer. And he, after many years, he got good recognition. He did very well in his career. And after a few years, he became a family man. He got married, and he also has had children. And his children, he was also thinking that just like my parents put me in a good college, gave me a good education, I should also do the same for my children. And many years passed, and this man's parents, who had become old by that time, father and mother, they were also living with him in the same house along with his family. And for some reason, there was a verbal argument between the hero of the story we're talking about, the one who passed out from a reputed college and got a good job. So there was an argument between him and his parents. And he was saying, "What have you done for me in my life?" Who is saying this? The son is telling his aged parents, "What have you done for me? So many struggles I had to go through in my childhood, in my school days, in my college days. Even now when I am working, there are so many challenges. As parents, what did you do for me?" He was asking this question. And by hearing this question, his parents were heartbroken, totally devastated. Because the parents had actually worked, slogged to give such a good life for their children, for their son. But now the grown-up son is telling this to his parents, "What have you done for me? You have not done anything for me. Like any other parents, you also have taken care of me. Like anybody else, you also sent me to a school, to a college. But all that I have done, all that I have achieved in my life, it is because of my own hard work. I am a self-made man. Many people say like this, right? I am a self-made man. They take pride in saying that. So what is wrong with this man? What is wrong with this man? Anyone? Was he correct? I am a self-made man. Is it correct understanding? What is wrong? Why are all saying no? Whoever said. Huh? Yeah. Very good. He lacks a sense of gratitude towards his parents. Any other thing, any other point? What was wrong with his understanding?
He failed to see the contribution of others in his life.
Exactly. He failed to see the contribution of others, because of which he has become a successful engineer or whatever in his life. In the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna talks about this principle. Ahankara vimudhatma karta aham iti manyate. In the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, a person who is overpowered by ahankara, false ego, he thinks that I am the karta, I am the doer. It is me, because of my hard work, my endeavors, I have achieved this in my life. He fails, he becomes blinded because of his pride, because of his so-called achievements, under the influence of false ego, ahankara, he becomes blind to the reality. So, this man became whatever he became because of the sacrifice of his parents, because of the guidance of his teachers and professors, because of so many things, so many other people who have contributed for his well-being in life. But how lightly, how carelessly, recklessly he is making a statement that I am whatever I am today is because of my own efforts. So it lacked, as you said, it shows a sheer lack of gratitude. Isn't it? See, why I am telling this story is because, first of all, none of us should fall into this trap. We should, in fact, even a small little favor we receive from somebody, we should never forget. This is called kritagnyata, kritagnya. Gnya means to know, to be conscious of. Krita means what has been done to you. In the Valmiki Ramayana, in the very beginning, when Narad Muni was asked a question by Valmiki Rishi, Valmiki Rishi gives a list of 16 qualities and says, these are wonderful qualities that any human being can possess. And one of those qualities is kritagnya, being grateful. So he gives a list of 16 qualities and says, oh great sage, Narad Muni, you travel all over the universe. Did you find anybody who has all these qualities in him? If so, please tell me about that person. He must be the noblest of all human beings. He must be a role model for the entire human society. And Narad Muni says, yes, I have indeed come across such a person. And that is Maryada Purushottam Sri Ram. So why do we celebrate Lord Rama? Why do we, worship Lord Rama? Not just because he is God, but he demonstrated these wonderful qualities, one of which is being grateful. There is a shloka in the Valmiki Ramayana which means that Lord Rama was so grateful that even if somebody does a small, insignificant favor to him, he will never forget it. And he will glorify the favors that he received from others in front of everybody as though he has 100 mouths. And on the contrary, if somebody did a wrong thing to him, he will immediately forget it. This is the great quality of Lord Rama. What we do is ulta, opposite. We forget all the favors we receive, all the help we receive from others. But someday somebody in a bad mood, your father or mother scolded you in a certain way because of whatever reason, that you remember throughout your life. And you are waiting for an opportunity. When to give it back? Badle ki aag. You know what kind of a life we are leading? Why we should study Ramayana? So that we don't waste our life with badle ki aag. So that we develop these qualities and become truly human. A human being, if he is ungrateful, he is not a human being. He is as good as an animal. In fact, animals are more grateful. We see so many videos on Insta. How, on the street, if a dog is fed, the dog keeps coming, wagging its tail, and shows so much affection to that person who gave just one piece of bread or some biscuit. So much grateful. But we human beings, we forget. So, in our Indian culture, every festival has got some life lesson for us to discover. And this Makar Sankranti is actually a festival of offering gratitude. It is a harvest festival. Basically, India is an agrarian economy from time immemorial. From the Indus Valley civilization, much before that, we see there are evidences where people grew crops. They were very closely associated with nature. And when they harvested their crop, they wanted a festival to express, they celebrated a festival to express their gratitude to Mother Nature. Correct? Today we all say that we are advancing in science and technology. But is there any technology, is there any machine, is there any industry which is producing our food grains that we eat? No. It is produced by Mother Nature, Earth. So our ancestors were much wiser than us. They always thought of a sustainable growth, sustainable economy. So they said, we are taking so much from Mother Earth, at least one day in a year can we express our gratitude. And that's why this Makar Sankranti, or the festival of gratitude, what we are calling. So it's what people used to do traditionally, the farmers, they used to finish harvesting all the crops by this time, and they would all gather in their fields or in front of their houses, decorate their houses very nicely, and their decoration was not with papers like this, what we are doing today. They were, their decorations were more eco-friendly. We see here, mango leaves, toran, and fresh mango leaves, the aroma that they produce when you actually take that aroma is good for your body also. So they used to decorate their houses, their fields in this way. And then, especially in South India, in Karnataka, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, what they would do is they would get the freshly grown rice, and they would keep a pot like this in the open field, and in the earthen pot they would cook the rice until the rice overflows and comes out of the container, and then they would all loudly shout Pongalo, Pongal, like that. Pongal means that which is boiling and overflowing out. It signifies abundance and prosperity. So their joy was not artificial by going to a disco or a pub and dancing on New Year, 31st December. No, they were not midnight, let us drink and let us enjoy. That was not their life. They used to find pleasure in these kind of things. And this has no side effects, no negative effects. They used to cook, and then all the family members sit together, eat, right, nicely. So they had very good health, isn't it? So this is how the festival came into existence. Pongal. we call it in Tamil Nadu. And so there are 3 days of festival in Pongal. So one day they worship the cows. Mattu Pongal it is called. Anyone from Tamil Nadu here? Okay, Shashi Ram is here. And what's your name?
Bharatan.
Huh?
Bharatan.
Bharatan. Okay. So you might have seen Mattu Pongal in your childhood. So they express their gratitude to the cow. Why? According to our Indian culture, Indian way of life, cow is one of our 7 mothers. Every human being, civilized human being, has got 7 mothers. And one of them is the cow. Why we drink? Because we drink cow's milk. And the bull, oxen, they work on the field, till the land. So in that way they are also, they are giving us their labor. Of course not voluntarily, but we are employing them. But once in a year, can we show a gratitude to the cow, to the oxen? This thought process itself is something revolutionary. Not seeing animals as simply some labor. Today in corporate culture, we call employees as what? Resources. Employees are called resources. They are not even treated like a human being. That's why there are labor laws. All those came into existence, saying that the employees have to treat the the employers have to treat the employees properly, humanely. But our ancestors treated animals in par with humans. What a lofty idea, what an advanced thinking. So they express their gratitude to the cows. They do go puja, right? So this you won't see in any culture all around the world. You see it only in India. Correct? That means they have toiled for us whole year, and now we should express our gratitude. This is the thinking. So gratitude is the basic concept or the basic value system behind this festival. Another day, they worship the sun. Now the sun undeniably is the source of all energy that we are utilizing. And it is free of cost. Are we getting any solar bill from probably the sun or from the space? Somebody is telling you have consumed so many units of solar energy from the sun, you have to pay now. No, right? That's why we take it for granted. Anything which is coming free of cost, we don't value it. We take it for granted. But our ancestors said, don't take anything for granted. Don't take anything for granted. So the sun is also worshipped. In fact, the Sankranti itself means what? The sun, from the southern hemisphere, the sun starts moving towards the northern hemisphere, relatively with the earth. Of course, it's the sun which is fixed and the earth is moving, but it appears to us that the sun is moving. The sun is moving towards the northern hemisphere. The days start becoming longer. That means the winter season is coming to an end. That is the meaning. And so it is a festival which has got something to do with our nature. The sun is moving, therefore there is a celebration. Uttarayan in Gujarat, in parts of North India, Uttarayan. And that is when the sky starts becoming clearer, and they celebrate with kite flying. We see some kites here. Correct? Kite flying. What is the significance of flying the kite? What is the significance? The kite may fly, however, high in the sky, but it's controlled with the strings here on the ground. What is the lesson for us through this simple kite flying? You may reach any heights of success in your life, but stay grounded in your culture. Right? You see, there are 2 things in our life: competence, and the second one is character. Now today we give more importance to competence building. I want to make sure that my resume or my CV is first class. All abilities, talents, all courses I have done, certifications I have got. I want to impress the whole world. See, I have done so many achievements, which is good. There's no denial of that. But a person who has a lot of competence but he is not a man of character. He is going to cause harm to himself and to people around him more than contribution. Classic example for this is again in the Ramayana. Who is that? Ravana. Why do we call Ravana as a demon? Actually, Ravana was a multi-talented person. He was a versatile person. He was a good musician. He was a great Sanskrit scholar, a Vedic scholar. He was a good administrator. He knew how to manage resources well, so he was an entrepreneur also in modern language. And he had conquered so many kings, and not only on this planet, it is said that in other planets also he had gone and conquered. Very, very powerful person. Very educated, very intelligent. Right? But then his character was loose, Dhila character person. Correct? What is his thinking? Every other beautiful thing should be enjoyed by me. Every beautiful woman should become mine. So he could not control his lust, his karma. Correct? So even though he is competent wise, he is great, but character wise, he is a big question mark. You see how, that's why we don't adore Ravana. Anybody here, Ravana fan club people here? Nobody, right? So, why? Because of this. So, character is more important than your competence. This is what the Ramayana teaches us. In fact, with very little competence, if you have a great character, if you have integrity, you have gratitude, you have good values, you can contribute so much to the world. This has always been the Indian way of outlook, Indian way of living. Of course, it doesn't mean that competence is not taken into consideration or not given importance. I'll give you an analogy to make us understand this. Suppose there is a tree. Which are the world's tallest trees? Anyone knows? If you go to the Amazon jungle, you will find trees which are very, very tall, hundreds of feet tall. The giant sequoia tree is one of them. Very huge, very tall. And why do you think these trees are so tall and they are able to sustain for so many years? They live for hundreds of years. More than 300 years some trees, they live and they flourish. Why do you think they are able to stand so tall for so long? Why? Because they have a very deep, strong root system. Correct? What is visible to us is the height of the tree, but what is holding it, which is not visible to our eyes, the deep roots, the foundation. So in this tree analogy, what is visible to us, the shoot part of the tree, which is above the ground, that is compared to our competence, how tall we grow in life. But what is invisible, the real success, which is holding us strong, that is our character. Since it is not visible, we take it for granted that it's not important. Every time when I go conduct corporate training programs, I give them this activity. Can you draw a tree? More than 80% of the people draw only the visible part of the tree. Only 20% of the people even think that roots are required when they draw the roots underneath the ground. That means we take it for granted. Because it's not visible, it's not important. But imagine if there are no roots, how will the trees, giant sequoia trees, how do they stand? So therefore, character is more important and fundamental than competence. So the kite flying, there is a lesson. You may reach any height, but you need to be grounded strongly based on your character. That's why it is said, when wealth is lost, nothing is lost. Because always you can earn back the lost wealth.
When health is lost, something is lost. But when character is lost, everything is lost. You see, such wonderful message. We all might have flown kites in our childhood or even now, but this outlook, this message has been lost. Correct, no? Actually, this is the message that the children are taught. You can go to any height, but keep grounded. If you leave the daga, the manja, if you leave it, what will happen? It's lost. It's like it just gets carried away by the wind flow. And it is just like uncontrolled mind keeps going. You see, in the Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna says, for a person who has controlled his mind is the greatest friend. But for a person who has failed to control his mind remains the greatest enemy. Dushman kahan hai? Dushman bagal mein hai. Don't look at your neighbor. But the uncontrolled mind is our greatest dushman. You don't have to search for dushman outside you. It is within you, your own uncontrolled mind. You need to do something about it. Right? So, that is Uttarayan. And also, a very interesting incident connected with Uttarayan Punyakal, it is called, is mentioned in the Mahabharata. Someone will indicate to me, right, when to stop. Otherwise, I will go on. Someone has to tell me. So, in the Mahabharata, you know Bhishma Deva, the grandsire of the Kauravas and Pandavas, he fought for 10 days on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. On whose side did he fight? Kaurava's side. But his heart was on whose side? Pandava's side. That's a very big lesson for us. Why? He knew Dharma was on the side of the Pandavas, but he had to support the nefarious activities of Duryodhana, and he had to fight for the Kauravas. Why? Why he wanted to protect? He had made a vow. What was the vow? I am going to be loyal to anyone who sits on the throne of Hastinapura. He made this when he was young. He didn't know people like loose character, people like Duryodhana are going to come, Dhritarashtra are going to come, blind people on the throne. And he himself got bound by his own vows. Correct? So it's not an easy thing. Of course, today's people, we say something in the morning and afternoon we say we didn't say like that. Today's leaders are like that. Correct? No? Today's leaders, politicians, they promise something in the morning, they make a statement in the morning, and afternoon they say, I never said like that. Even though so much is going on record, they are so shameless, they deny their own statement. Even if you show them some video given to them, they say like that. AI generated video, yes. AI is something new, everyone says about that. But Bhishma, when he said the statement, only he was there, his father was there, some 2-3 people were there, that's all. No recordings, it did not come on Instagram, it did not come on YouTube, nothing. But still he said, no, I have to keep up my words. You see, this is called character. He was a man of words. And then, 10 days he fought. And on the 10th day, Arjuna shot arrows and he fell down on the ground on the bed of arrows. Sharashaya, he had fallen on the ground. And it is said that he did not die immediately. Why? He had got a benediction from his father. What is that? Ichha Mrityu. Actually, it became a curse also. Okay. So, it became a curse for him also because he had to tolerate all the activities of people whom he was apparently supporting. So, he was actually waiting when this Kurukshetra war will end and when this Hastinapura throne will go into the hands of Yudhishthira. When Dharma will be established, that time chain se I will pass away. You see, that was his thinking. And it is said he waited for this Uttarayana Punyakala. Right? And more importantly, why he waited was because after the war was over, he actually wanted to leave his body in the presence of Krishna. It's a very important. If you read the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, it's about this. We all talk about how to lead our life, the art of leading our life. We talk about how to earn livelihood, but Bhagavad Gita is teaching the art of dying. Very interesting. Many times when we talk about death, people become alarmed. Oh, कुछ तो positive बताइए. Death के बारे में क्यों बोल रहे हैं? Why are you talking about death? It is so negative. But no, it is a harsh reality. We all have to face it one or the other day. Yes or no? Is there anyone here who says, no, I don't have to face this. I am above, I am immune to this. Nobody. All of us have to face it. So the Bhagavad Gita is telling us how to prepare yourself for this final examination. Right? We all have studied in our school days, college days. At the end of the academic term, we have an exam. What all you did throughout your academic, what all you studied, that is going to be tested at the time of your exam. Therefore, this death is like an examination time. Those who are prepared well, they don't fear death. You see? So, and Bhishma Deva, he had already prepared. Now he wanted to pass this final exam. And you know, this final exam is another thing. In your colleges and universities, the examination time is announced in advance. You get a timetable in advance, so you get to prepare. Correct? But this exam called death, it is the surprise test. Correct, no? We are all smiling, but the surprise test can come anytime. Next moment it can come. Are you ready? So, we hear, no? Somebody was just, like every day, he went to his gym, and on the gym when he was, doing exercise, he collapsed and he died. He was doing well. He was just 40 years or 37 years, and every day he was fit and fine. He was doing exercise every day, but he collapsed. Another occasion, few months back, a flight crashed into a hostel building at lunchtime. Where did this happen? Ahmedabad, yes. So they did not expect, the children were all, like every other day, they had come to school, students had come to their mess to have their lunch. All of a sudden, surprise test came. Very unfortunate incident. And many people, according to the report, they were just eating, they were sitting in that posture and their bodies got burnt. They died. So as sure as death is the most surest thing that can happen to each one of us. The Bhagavad Gita says, human life is an opportunity to prepare for that final surprise test called death. And you need to pass the test in such a way that you escape the cycle. You escape the miseries of birth, death, old age and disease. So Bhishma Deva, by teaching us this lesson, fix your mind on the Lord. Throughout your life you have done so many things. But what matters is, at the time of death, what are you thinking? What is your consciousness? That is so important. Krishna says in the 8th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Prayana Kale Manasa Chavena. This death is called Prayana Kala. Prayana means what? Travel. Who is traveling? After a person dies, his body is buried or it is burnt away. So body is there only. Then who is traveling? Why it is called Prayana Kala? Actually the soul is traveling to another body. So that is the time that we understand we are not our bodies. We are soul. We are soul. Simply taking care of the body, catering to the body's necessities and pleasures is not the goal of human life. Human life is actually meant to realize that I am different from this temporary body and I am a soul, I have a spiritual identity which is eternal, and I have an eternal relationship with the Supreme Spiritual Personality, Krishna, and I need to do every day something to build my relationship with Krishna. Because at the time of death, I need to remember the Lord and quit my body. And that is going to be the success of my life. Whatever in the Bhagavad Gita 8th chapter it is said, Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tyajatyante kalevaram tam tamevaiti kaunteya sada tad bhava bhavitaha. At the time of death, whatever one remembers, he is carried to that kind of a body. So therefore Krishna says, Anta kalecha mameva smaran muktva kalevaram. At the time of death, you please remember me. Then you will come back to me. You will escape the miseries of birth, death, old age and disease. So this Uttarayana Punya Kala, this Sankranti, Bhishma is teaching us the art of dying perfectly and the art of giving up, attaining the highest perfection of life. So we need to remember the Lord at the time of death. And at the time of death, the Garuda Purana says, if there are 20,000 scorpions biting you simultaneously, what is the intensity of pain you might be experiencing? That kind of pain you will be experiencing at the time of death. 20,000 scorpions. We can't imagine. Very terrific pain. At that time, how to remember God? How to remember Krishna? There are people who pass away in the ICU in coma. How can they remember? So how do we do this? So therefore, just like a student meticulously throughout his semester, he prepares and he is ready for the surprise test or the final exam. Like that, a human being, every day, some portion of his or her life, every day, you must spend some time remembering the Lord, connecting with the Lord. Otherwise, it's not that at the examination hall, if the student has not prepared at all, examination hall, some miracle will not happen. So, we have to prepare. Human life is a very responsible life. And if we prepare ourselves to elevate spiritually, we can pass with first class distinction in the final exam, surprise test. And how do we prepare for that? Is it a very cumbersome, difficult process? In the other yugas, we are living in which yuga now? Kali Yuga. In the other yugas like Satya Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, there were severe practices prescribed. It is said, Krideya Dhyayato Vishnum. I'll just take 3 more minutes. Krideya Dhyayato Vishnum. In the Krita Yuga or Satya Yuga, people used to go to the forest and do meditation for hundreds and hundreds of years before they could attain perfection. Can we do that? Even though we are living in a forest-like place, IISc, with all of greenery and all of that, even 5 minutes to sit, even forget about 5 minutes, few seconds to sit silently, we are most distracted creatures on the planet, thanks to the digital technology. Isn't it? So, silent meditation is not practical. Then, Tretayam Yajato Makhaihi. In the Treta Yuga, the process was performing fire yajnas. Can we do it? Is it practical? We need ghee, pure ghee we need. We don't get ghee to eat only, where to put in the yajna kunda. Some of us people will be thinking. And also, suppose when we are traveling always, then everyone should be carrying a portable yajna kunda everywhere and keep going and doing yajna. It's not practical. Then, Dwapare Paricharyayam. In Dwapar Yuga, the process was temple worship. So everyone used to have a temple in their house and they used to nicely worship the Lord in Dwapar Yuga. Today, forget about having a temple in the house. Already there are some temples, we don't go. Somewhere I saw a meme, pubs, discos and bars, they have entry fee. Still a lot of people go there. Temples, free entry, nobody goes there. That is the situation. Correct? So temple worship following rules and regulations is very difficult. So even that is ruled out. Therefore in Kali Yuga, a very simple process has been recommended by which we can elevate our consciousness from the material platform to the spiritual platform. What is that? Kalau tat Hari Kirtana. Just by chanting the holy names of Hari in Kali Yuga, one can attain the supreme perfection. That is the special concession given for people in Kali Yuga. It's a big concession. If we are intelligent, we will take it up. We will take it up seriously. What people used to achieve by thousands of years of tapasya, big yajnas, rules and regulations of temple worship in the other yugas, easily you can attain just by sitting in your room and chanting the holy names. Isn't it a special thing? What do you all say? But still we are so doubtful. Does God exist? Really, is it true? We have so many questions. So to answer your questions, we have regular sessions in Transdimensions. Spiritual science is not simply a set of blind beliefs or superstitions. There are precise laws, there are precise concepts which we can understand how they are working in our daily lives. So we invite you for the Transdimensions weekly sessions, Fridays and Saturdays. Fridays in TMC Hall, we have discussions on various topics from the Bhagavad Gita. And Saturdays here, we have various reading sessions, and once in a month we have interesting programs like this. So we invite you to please come, take advantage of these programs, elevate spiritually, make the best use of the human life. To be born in ignorance is not your fault, but to live in ignorance and to die in ignorance, that's the biggest fault. So we should not be like that. We should not be like cats and dogs who are taking birth in ignorance and they die in ignorance. That's not the purpose of human life. It defeats the purpose. So therefore we invite you, this Krishna consciousness process is a very scientific process. So all of you who have a scientific temperament are all invited to come, learn, question, discuss, debate and understand and explore. Lead a spiritually fulfilling life. Finally, technology can improve the comforts and luxuries of our life, but it cannot give us inner satisfaction. It cannot give us fulfillment in our lives. Only when we connect to the Lord, when we grow spiritually, we can find real fulfillment, peace and happiness in our life. So, I was saying, in Kali Yuga, the simplest method to connect with the divine, to elevate spiritually, is chanting the holy names of the Lord. So the mantra that is recommended for everyone in this Kali Yuga, this is called the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Perhaps you must have heard the mantra. It is very simple. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. It's a very, very simple, very, very powerful mantra. Anybody can chant anytime. There are no hard and fast rules. So, since today we have come on this auspicious occasion, this coming 15th is Sankranti, correct? Pongal. It is celebrated with many names as we heard in the quiz. So, let us bring a Kranti in our life this Sankranti. Are you ready? Yes, no?
Yes.
Looks like people are all still having, should I really say yes? So, when Kranti means what? Revolution. When Kranti comes in our life, when does it come? When we connect with the Supreme Lord. Right? We connect with the Supreme Lord. So easiest way to connect is to chant His holy names. So let this not be another year passing by. Let this not be just another year, just like we have lived many years.
It is said we should not add years to our life, we should add life to our years. Very important. And how do we add life to our years? When we are coming closer and closer to the actual inner fulfillment. That is success of our life. So therefore, this Sankranti, let us bring Kranti in our own selves, not in outside. Many times we think Kranti means I should change the world. No, don't have to change the world, you change yourself. Aap bhale to jag bhala. It is said, right? First, transformation has to change from within. So are you all ready for this positive transformation? Yes, no. Can I see a raise of hands? How many of you really want it? Some people are slow. Is my neighbor raising my hand? Then I will also raise. Don't worry. So we are going to do this now. It takes only 8 minutes daily to bring Kranti in your life. 8 minutes. Are you ready for this challenge? Okay. So we are going to distribute something to all of you. I request the volunteers to distribute that special thing which can bring Kranti in your life. Yeah. It is given in a gift packet. This table will distribute. Just give this one. Okay, you can give both. Yeah. Two things are given to you now. Please take it. Okay, meanwhile, any questions till everyone gets what is that they are giving? Everybody's, it will come to you also. What is any question anyone has? Any point, any comment? Any questions based on what we discussed so far? No questions. When there are no questions, there are two options possible. Either everything is making sense, or everything has gone above the head. I am very optimistic person. I will take the first option.
So you said that the whole idea of Krishna consciousness, your approach to devotion is scientific in some senses. I guess for someone as I am not a very strong believer in this sense. And for me, I see that while I do agree to the benefits of meditation, some sort of, I don't see necessarily to be a spiritual practice, but I do agree that sort of learning to focus our mind and be able to be still is very important for our own well-being. Would you argue that it is necessary for someone to be religious to be doing this to sort of have a good life?
Okay, what's your name?
Aditya.
Aditya. Aditya means sun. Very nice. Okay, Aditya's question, he used the word belief. I'm not a believer, he said. We are not here to impose any belief on anybody. See, for that matter, if somebody says, I don't believe that the sun rises in the east, it's up to you, you don't believe, it's okay. It doesn't affect the sun. But when you understand that yes, the sun is rising in the eastern horizon every single day, I come one step closer to understanding how the universe works. But I may choose to believe that no, I don't believe. This is something I don't believe. So it's not, so spirituality is not simply a set of beliefs. It is something which can bring about real-time transformation in your life, and you can actually experience it. So it is not an experimental knowledge, it is an experiential knowledge. Okay? So it is, in fact, today we definitely have to doubt everything and accept before accepting, because we are cheated many times in all walks of our life. That is why we are so skeptical towards everything in our life. We can't trust anybody. Who knows, you may think this person may have some hidden agenda. He has come dressed like a sadhu and he's talking. Maybe he has some hidden agenda. Possible. I'm not saying you should close your eyes and believe me what I'm saying. But all that I'm saying is 8 minutes, you explore, you do it yourself. You will discover why it is working.
That's it. Just like if I say acid plus base gives salt and water, you may say, what is this? I don't believe. I mean, go to the laboratory, go and do the experiment. You will realize it for yourself. It becomes a reality for you. Right? So that's why I said it is a science. It's not just theory, it's practicals. When you do it, you will see for yourself how it is impacting you. Right? So his question was, should I be religious to be spiritual? A lot of people say, I'm spiritual but not religious. SBNR. They put in their status. SBNR. Spiritual but not religious. Now, religion is not some dogmatic, blind set of beliefs. Religion is living spirituality. Spirituality is the theory, religion is the practice of that. What is the use of any knowledge if you are not able to put it into practice and derive real-time benefit out of it? Right? I agree that there have been people who have misrepresented religion and many wars have been fought because of religion. That's why today people are saying, I don't want to be religious and all of that. But real religion means understanding the theory of spirituality and applying it in your lives. It's not about some dogmatic belief system. Good question. So I would request you, Aditya, to come explore. And I see that you are a seeker. We're very happy to welcome you. Okay, so 2 things we gave you. We all have. Can you tell me which is the most difficult sense in our body to control? Eyes, huh? You can close your eyes. Huh? Huh? Skin, huh? Why skin? Okay, someone said the most difficult sense to control is the tongue. And tongue has got dual functions. What does it do? We talk and then we taste. Now 2 things you have received now to control your tongue. The beads are meant for chanting the holy names of God. And you also receive prasadam kupal. Prasadam. When you take prasadam, your tongue can be controlled. So our Krishna consciousness process is just this. Ours is tongue controlling program. That's all. That's our program. With the tongue, you chant the Hare Krishna mantra and you take prasadam. Just by doing these 2, you can spiritually advance. As simple as that. I said so much theory. Now practice is just 2 things. Take prasadam and chant the holy names. Is it difficult? Anybody can do it. So let us practically do it now. So all of you have got the beads, right? First we will do this, then prasadam. Or you want the other way around? The program is designed in such a way that first we do the chanting. So the beads, there are 108 beads in this string, and there is one extra bead here, just below the bunch of threads. That's the reference bead or the head bead. We don't chant on that. We go to the next bead immediately after that.